Hi, everybody. I talked before about some hidden meanings, hidden messages, hidden symbolism in some popular movies. And I decided I want to go a little bit into more detail because so far I have only been talking about it in general, and I mentioned a lot of movies that have hidden meanings that a lot of people probably didn't get. But I didn't go into it in detail, so I decided I'm going to go into detail now and single out a few movies. So this might become a video series where I discuss several different movies in more detail and discuss their hidden meanings, their hidden symbolism. And the first movie I want to talk about, and I already mentioned this in my general video about hidden meanings in movies, is Alien, because the 1979 or 78 British movie, the original, because that's a very famous movie, and the symbolism in it is extremely blatant and obvious, but so many people have watched this movie and so many people don't see it, even though it's like hidden in plain view. And I already said, I already gave away the spoiler. It's not really a spoiler. I already explained that. Alien is really a movie, the original Alien movie is really a movie about rape. Now, a lot of people maybe still don't understand why that is. They watch it and think, what does that have to do with rape? It's a movie about aliens in space. Yeah, but the symbolism is all about rape, from start to finish. Now, with this movie, the symbolism is done a little different. The symbolism isn't only in the story itself. You also have it in there. But in Alien, the symbolism is mainly, basically the symbolism was all done by the set designer, more or less, yeah, it was primarily done by the set designer. And of course this was on purpose. It's not something that the set designer just did by himself. It was on purpose. And they designed it that way. They even designed the look of the alien in that way, or in consciously in a way to symbolize rape. Because if you look, it starts with the design of the alien itself. If you look at it carefully, what does it look like? It looks like this gigantic penis head, and when it attacks you, it has like those what do you call them? Like those fangs or whatever that come out of its mouth. Basically, it's like a gigantic penis that comes out of its mouth. It's like a mouth within a mouth, and it attacks you. Same thing with those, what do you call them, face huggers, like the offspring of the alien. If you look closely, and you see this in the movie, maybe I shouldn't go into this in too much detail, because it gets a bit nasty if I go into it in too much detail. But sufficely to say, there is a lot of symbolism in the design of the aliens. I just decided that maybe it's not a good idea if I go into it in too much detail. Let's do it this way. If you want to know the details, then just continue to listen. If you don't want to know the let's say more graphic details, then better stop listening now. So anyway, if you look closely, and you can see this in the movie, it's not something I made up. It's not because I have a dirty mind or something. This was intentionally designed this way. Those face hugger thingies, the office, or what you call it, it looks like a vagina. Okay, and what it basically does is it rapes you. Yeah, that's basically what it does. It rapes you, well, through your mouth, and inserts its offspring, in your throat, and then it goes down to your stomach, where the offspring grows. And well, basically, this is already about rape, right? This is about oral rape. Okay, so then the offspring grows, and then you have you're basically seeing the birth of the offspring. Of course, it's very bloody and destructive, and it kills the host. Yeah, which we see very graphically portrayed by John Hurt. I don't know, maybe it's because of his name, but basically every movie this guy is in, he gets hurt. Of course, I'm a big fan of the 1984 movie, which also stars John Hurt, and he gets hurt a lot in that movie too. Anyway, you have a lot of symbolism like that. Also, at the beginning, when they discover the alien vessel, there's a lot of symbolism there too. The symbolism, as I said, is mainly in the designs of the in all of the set designs, basically. And then the symbolism goes on and on. It just throws all this symbolism at you. One of the most telling scenes is the scene with the robot, where she confronts the robot, and it turns out that it is a robot. And how can we tell that it is a robot? It's because all of this white fluid comes out of the robot, and that's normally not something robots do. They don't. Robots are normally not. Normally, if you open up a robot, there doesn't come a lot of white, gooey fluid out of it. That's not something that you would typically associate with robots. I mean, I could think of something else that I could associate that with, but not robots. So again, this is symbolism. They themselves know that robots are not filled with white, that white liquid, fluid, icky, yucky, whatever stuff. They know that. So it's symbolism. And if you look at the scene itself, all throughout the scene, that confrontation between Ripley and the robot, attacks Ripley, of course. But look closely at the way he attacks her. At the way this robot with all this white, sticky fluid in him attacks Ripley. He does it by folding a newspaper, I think, or something, and trying to shove it down her throat. And in the background, you can see. He does that while she's lying on a bunk bed or something. And in the background, you can see, a lot of those posters of naked women and stuff. So again, symbolism for rape. So the symbolism is very, very blatant and obvious. And it goes on with the design of the aliens. I already talked about that, but there's even a scene where they find some residue of the alien, when the alien, how do you say that in English? When the alien changed its skin, it leaves some of its skin. And that skin also, of course, looks like something that you wouldn't have to necessarily associate with aliens. You could find that on Earth as well. I watched this I watched this actually when I was a kid, and as a kid, I have actually been. I was watching this when I was like 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, and it gave me nightmares for a very very long time, you know. And my mother had me watch this. She actually wanted me to watch this movie. I didn't want to watch it. She wanted me to watch this movie, and my mother was really messed up, and she did some really bad things when I was a child, and she actually abused me as a child. She also sexually abused me when I was a child. So even back then, I could feel a lot of sympathy for the character of Ripley in Alien, because at the end of the movie, and I realized this maybe more subconsciously, but I realized this even as a child, that Ripley really is a rape survivor or something, you know. That's basically what the ending of the first Alien movie was about. At least for me, and I think a lot of people, when they, if you watch the movie now, then you will probably agree with me. So I kind of like the ending of Alien, because, for me, Ripley personifies a rape victim, but also a survivor, you know, because she survives all that. So I really like that ending. And of course, there's Aliens, or Alien 2. I also like that movie. The symbolism, Alien 2 also has symbolism in it. I talked about this already. But the symbolism in Aliens is very different than in the first Alien movie. This time in Aliens 2, or Aliens, or whatever you call it, the symbolism is about the Vietnam War. You know, it was done at a time when the Vietnam War wasn't that long ago. So basically, Aliens is all about the Vietnam War. And I don't think I have to say much about this. That's also pretty obvious. So I'm not going to go into this in detail. That pretty much covers Alien, or that even covers the entire Alien franchise, because the other Alien movies, they don't have much symbolism in them. So I will probably continue this, and I will talk about some other movies. Next, I will probably talk about, also a very famous movie. I will probably talk about The Exorcist next. Maybe I shouldn't, because that's the same symbolism.